Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cancellable Podcast. I'm here with Korosh.
Hey everyone.
And not Bardia. It's just me, Faisal. Yeah. Bardia's not here. He's traveling. So
What the fuck is that?
I don't know, bro. It's shady stuff he does.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole reason why we were gapped last year for a year was because he was flying to Cuba. Flying to Colombia. Sorry, Colombia and Cuba got mixed up. But yeah, we're flying solo for I think the next couple of episodes.
I think 2-3 episodes.
2-3 episodes. He's with us in spirit and WhatsApp group. But yeah. So Korosh.
All right, so let me give a bit of an intro on how the topic for today was chosen. So the other day we were at the beach and we were talking about
No. Can I just give a little bit of a little bit of a thing? So I've decided that I want to be more active, going out, going to the beach and stuff like that. And you know, I pestered Korosh and I said, you know, why don't you come with me to the beach? So it was morning, and you know, we're walking to the beach. He picked me up, and we're sitting in the car, and then we get out and we walk to the beach. And we always think about, you know, what should we talk on the podcast? What's something interesting? And then Korosh just looks at me and goes, "What about guilt?" Yeah, and he said it in such a way, and I was like, dude, that hit me hard. Yeah, and he was like, yeah, guilt. I think, I don't know, guilt speaks to me. Like, I think we can have a good conversation about guilt. And I was like, yeah, that's a...
No, I was just thinking, I mean, there's a personal story behind it, but I was thinking like men don't really talk about guilt that much. I feel like women share it a lot more with themselves. And I thought that it would be a pretty interesting topic to see like what each of us feels guilty about in our past, regardless if it's towards ourselves, other people. Because I don't think we really, even though we're really close friends, I don't think we talk about that shit that often.
But in terms of anything, do we really talk about anything negative? I don't think guys are like that.
I mean, we talk about significant like negative shit that has happened to us in the past, whether if it's like family related or like when I was young in school this type of shit happened. No, not like molestation.
Korosh, you want to tell us something?
Oh dude, it would have came out by now, trust me.
Maybe this is the time.
No, there's no guilt about that. Fully
did it wholeheartedly.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it would be an interesting topic. But before that, I have two things I want to talk to you about. One was I have a maid cleaning service that comes every couple of weeks to like clean my house. And today they randomly sent a guy. And that has never happened to me before. So I was like a little bit confused. And then that made me think, like, it made me very uncomfortable. But I don't know why. And then I was sitting there and I'm like, shit, I'm actually racist. Not racist, sexist. I mean, I might be racist too.
I mean, we've established that, but...
Yeah, but... it made me realize, like, am I actually sexist? Like, is that why I didn't, like, I had a weird feeling about a guy being the cleaner?
No, but do you want to explain, like, okay, look, you know how they say that your first impressions are very important, right? The guy came in, you know, did he look clean? Did he look like, you know?
Yeah, the thing is, the company gave me a call like 10 minutes before the guy came, and they told me, there was because you booked them through it's like an automated chat on WhatsApp.
Oh, shit, okay.
And I booked it last night for today, whatever, and they called me like 10 minutes before. They're like, oh, sorry, there was a confusion in the booking, and it's a guy coming. And like from that moment, without even like seeing the guy, or there was nothing related to the guy. It was just the idea of a guy coming to clean my house. It made me uncomfortable, but I couldn't really figure out why. I don't know if it's because it's the sexist thing that like, women have to cook and clean and guys don't.
I don't think it's that. No, I think
this I came up with, but I don't know if I'm justifying my sexism just so I don't feel bad about myself. But it was in my head, women pay a lot more attention to details than men do when it comes to this sort of stuff.
I mean, again, look, you know, in terms of sexism and all this, I think that we project ourselves into it a lot. So... I mean, I have a very similar issue, I'd say, a scenario that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like people in your life who happen to be women, you see like your mom cleaning, you see in the house, you know, she's always picking up stuff when you were younger and stuff. So you always have that assumption that women are, you know, more attention to detail, more looking around and stuff like that. They're going to, you know, they want something to be tidy. But you yourself are a very tidy person.
I'm tidy, but I'm not good at cleaning. Like I'm good at being
but
organized.
But your expertise and like using the tool and stuff like that might not be.
Yeah, no, I just don't give a fuck that much, to be honest. As long as everything is in the right position.
But then if you think about it, right? Like janitors. Yeah. A lot of them we see that clean the bathrooms and clean all these places. They're men.
Yeah.
Right. House cleaners. I mean, they find women who do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems to be a very...
Is that a regional thing or is that everywhere?
I mean, I've seen it in movies in the US that it's women.
Yeah, true.
And even in Europe, like when house cleaning comes, it's always a woman, you know? When I traveled, it's always been women who do it. Maybe there is something that's, inherently in there that people tend to look at, or maybe...
I actually think women are better at paying attention to details than men. Because I remember when I was young, I would help my mom clean and everything. And I would think I went to every corner, I did this, I did everything. And then my mom would come and she would see stuff that I just wasn't able to pick up on, or I just didn't care enough. I don't know what it is.
I think it's also the social construct we're in.
Maybe.
Because if you think about it, your mom probably learned how to clean because when she was getting married, they're like, this is things like my mom, right?
Oh no,
my grandmother
my
taught...
mom is different. She has full, how I have OCD with being tidy and everything has a place. She has that exact same with cleaning.
Yeah, my mom has the same.
Yeah.
I'm not the same as her. Like I can live in a room that's a little bit messy and stuff, but my mom just has naturally OCD, right? And we can sit in the room watching TV, and if one thing's out of place, she'll get up and just start cleaning. Like she'll just start cleaning. So I think that, even when I was younger, I never used to clean with a mop or something like that. I would clean the table, move stuff, physical stuff around.
Yeah.
But the wiping and the cleaning and knowing which products to use and stuff, my mom always knew it.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of how the scenario is. In my family, it was very, let's say, traditional norms where my dad was working, my mom was at home.
Yeah.
So they had to both work on that. Even though my mom did have helpers in the house, she was very active in that.
Yeah.
So I would say that it is a mixture of both. But another scenario was very weird for me was that when, I was doing a manicure and pedicure, for my hands and feet. And I use basically a company that delivers people to you. They come and they do it for you.
Before we go ahead, for everyone who doesn't live in Dubai, this sounds like very bougie shit that they come
they
to
have
your
it
house.
in other places.
Yeah,
also.
but it's very upper echelon type of services. But in UAE, a lot of stuff is, for example, you can order a truck to come fill up your gas at your home, and it's the same price as doing it at a gas station. So it's not like a bougie service. It's just it's a very common thing here.
No, but also you have to remember that these are all situational, right? Here it's cheaper, petrol's cheaper. They can move around, get the cost around.
People who live internationally, that they haven't lived in Dubai, they might think that oh, look at these guys complaining about shit or being picky about it.
No, that's a very good point to
and
bring
not
up.
knowing
100%.
how it is actually here. It's not like a bougie, super rich type of expense that only people who have a lot of money do. It's a very common
It's
thing.
just different here. I mean, if you look at it, one very funny example is that if you go to Cheesecake Factory here in comparison to the US, Cheesecake Factory here is very bougie.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh. We treat it very bougie, but in the US it's like Chili's.
Yeah.
You know?
True, yeah.
So, but when I got a manicure and pedicure, I saw the list and there were 4 guys in it and I was avoiding the guys. Because I was like, how do they know about nails? How do they know about this, And one of the guys who had done it for me, I was like, he was doing it and there was no pain. There was nothing like that. Apparently there's pain when you do a manicure and pedicure. So apparently there's pain. And the guy was doing it, and I was always looking at him. I'm like, but how does he know? Why didn't I get a girl? A girl would know more. They do it all the time. Yeah. But the guy was pretty good. And he was clean. He because with these services you get, they have a scrub and there's an inner nail thing and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
But it wasn't bad. But I was apprehensive. I was sitting there. And I'm
Yeah, that's the feeling I had today.
Yeah.
It made me think am I sexist or not?
Well, I don't think it's you. Look, I mean, what's the idea of being sexist, right?
I don't know. Just certain jobs belong to only women. Certain jobs only. I don't know.
Again, I mean.
Then I realized I don't give a shit.
yeah, exactly. But did he manage to clean or you kicked him out?
Huh?
Did you clean or no?
No, he didn't. No, he left.
You're sexist.
No, he didn't actually come. When they called me, they were like, "Do you want it?" I'm like, "No."
Do you want it?
Yeah.
But again, you're not alone on that boat. I'm on that boat as well. So I mean, there's a couple of things you'd think that maybe he won't do it, and also you project
Leave the word
yourself.
sexist in the comments if you think.
Yeah, exactly. If you think we're sexist, press 1. But yeah, I've been in that scenario, and I get you completely.
Yeah. And another thing I want to talk to you about before we move on to the main topic was, have you heard of Cape Verde? I think that's how you say it in Africa.
Yes, I've heard of Cape Verde.
I've never heard of this place till I saw it in a show today. Have you seen pictures of like their nature and shit? It's fucking gorgeous. And the Airbnbs and stuff, I just checked really quickly, like a nice villa for really good prices. I was gonna be like, holy shit, like we should go there.
Which part of Africa is it?
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, Cape Verde. Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard it. I thought it was in South Africa.
I don't actually
Because
know.
usually what they call a cape means that it's at the bottom of a country. Like
It's separate islands. It's not connected to the
Is it?
continent.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know how far off the continent actually it is, but I think it's counted as like Africa. But dude, we should look into it. Like it's really nice, like beaches, jungles, like nature stuff, and they have international airports that you can fly directly from Dubai to. The flights are a little expensive. It's like,
But how long is the flight?
I didn't check.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like 10 plus.
Well, I mean, Africa is beautiful, man. I mean, and it's so diverse.
I've only been to Kenya. I've never been. I haven't been anywhere.
Kenya's
Oh,
gorgeous.
actually, that's a lie. I've been to the north, like Morocco and Tunisia, and like those. But
But you know what's really funny is that people wouldn't, like there's always this debate that happens that North Africans are different to Africans. Because
I
North
agree with
Africans don't consider themselves North Africans. They say that they're Arabs, Arabs and stuff. There's a very big divide that
honestly,
goes on there.
I've been to Kenya and I've been to like some of those North African countries. It's a lot closer to Arabic countries than it is that was to Kenya, at least from my experience.
Yeah,
Like
because
culturally,
because you had a nomadic group that were called the Berbers there.
Yeah.
And again, nomadic meaning moving around and stuff. They adopted a lot of Arabic culture, and they also made their own culture there. But Morocco, everyone says it's a very beautiful place to go to.
dude, it's so nice.
Yeah.
It's cheap and it's really nice, and the people are actually really nice.
I was talking to a cousin today, and he was telling me that there are so many places that are just not on the map. Like right now, everyone in Dubai tells me Moscow is a place to go to.
Not interested.
Not interested.
Nope. Not in Russia.
Because it's what?
I think I said on the podcast, I had a bad experience in Russia in the like passport control.
You went to Russia?
Yeah, I was on a cruise ship that stopped in St. Petersburg
When was this?
a couple of years ago, maybe like 8-9 years ago. I went with family. Remember last week you guys were making fun of me for being on a cruise, my dad fucking me with the seatbelt on the
Oh, okay.
remember
Yeah.
that?
No.
One of the places we stopped was St. Petersburg, and the passport control to like get in the country, they kind of scared the shit out of me, and like it kind of put me off of going to Russia.
You want to talk about what happened? Or?
So basically, I think it was actually on the way back on the boat, and so at the
Did you have the same beard?
the issue wasn't the beard. I kind of fucked up. So at the time, my UAE visa, it was a work visa, but at the same time, I was a student in UK. But I forgot I have the work visa in UAE. So I get there, they're like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I'm a student in UK." They're like, "So how do you have a work visa in UAE?" And then I panicked and said, "Oh, it's my dad's friend's company, and I work for them like part time." And like I started, I'm like, "No, don't worry about it. It's common. I have the visa. I live in UK." And when I said that, at the same time, there were I know for what reason, but they had a mirror exactly on top of your head, pointing at your ass. Just like they would keep looking at it just to make you nervous.
I mean, you've got a nice ass.
I mean, I don't think that's
He's got the goods. He's got the goods.
And then she kept repeating the same questions. I'm like, fuck, I start sweating and everything. And it's Russia. Like, I don't want to go to prison in Russia, although I didn't do anything wrong.
You wouldn't, yeah, okay.
But I started panicking. I was like, maybe like 16 or something at the time.
Okay. That's very, very important. That part.
I wasn't 16, actually. I was like 18, 19.
You were 16. We're saying you were
I
16.
was in uni, so it can't be. Yeah, I'm not a genius, clearly. And then the lady that was questioning me started picking up her phone, like the phone at the station, and calling someone, talking in Russian. And then 5 minutes on the phone later, and some fucking other agent comes, and they ask me the same questions. And this guy is like proper scary looking. Like, what do you imagine? Like a Russian, like security person and shit. And then before we got off the boat to go into Russia, they told us, whatever you do, don't make a scene in the, what do you call it? Like the
Passport control.
passport control. And then my dad is the next person in line, and he sees me. I'm sweating up. At this point, I've been there for 15, 20 minutes, just standing there. And then after like the main guy came and questioned me, they start talking to each other and they're just completely ignoring me. I'm just standing there on the settle.
Your dad and the guy.
I'm just no. The scary guy and the lady that was originally like looking at my passport, and I'm just standing there for like 10 minutes. Now I'm fucking pouring sweat. I'm like, what the fuck are they gonna do to me? And then my dad, being my dad and has anger issues too, he loses his shit and he starts shouting, "Oh, why is this taking so long? What the fuck do you guys want? Like, shut the fuck up! Not here. We're both gonna get butt fucked in prison. Like, fuck. I don't want to see my dad
that's
get
crazy. Your dad has anger issues. Okay, note here: if you ever meet Korosh's dad, right? This guy is the most jolliest of souls you've ever met. So imagine Korosh's face. Okay, not weird Iranian accent, because Korosh doesn't have an Iranian accent. It's just like barbaric kind of accent. His dad has a perfect English accent. Very nice, very jolly guy. Looks like he takes everything in life.
Barbaric accent?
You don't have like a full Iranian accent. You know what I mean?
Barbaric?
Like, yeah, because it's like you. I mean, when you speak Farsi,
Yeah.
you're Iranian. Like,
Thank you.
You know, it's perfect. But when you speak English, it's like a mixture.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, fair enough.
I just say barbaric because you're just a violent guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but now I know where you get your violence, because I can't imagine your dad just exploding on these guys.
Dude, my dad, especially when he lived in Iran, like when you live in Iran, even like the most basic jobs you do, your stress level is so much higher. And then you add the driving to it, you add the dickheads to it, and like it's just your stress level is so high. So if you originally have anger issue problems, and then you live in Iran, it just heightens the problem. And also keep in mind, my dad was like in the UK, like from when he was like 13 till, I don't know, for a couple of years. So when he came back to Iran, he came with the British mentality of like, oh, everyone follows the rules and like all that shit. So everything would like send him to 100. So yeah.
So then your dad blows up, and this guy, then how does he respond? Put this guy in prison.
I think there was like 2-3 guards that first came, and then they just passed me through. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm through, but I don't know if my dad's gonna make it around. But yeah, since that experience, I kind of lost interest in going to Russia.
Shit.
Yeah.
I still want to go. I think that these kind of places get a bad rap, right? I really do think, and a lot of people have told me like St. Petersburg is beautiful. Seeing the Kremlin is so gorgeous.
Yeah. Their food is not that good though.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, again, like, what food have you tried? What have you tried? Because I've tried some Russian food. It's like any cuisine, no? But they have like very good restaurants there.
They do.
Yeah.
But the thing, St. Petersburg is really nice.
Yeah, St. Petersburg, even Moscow. I mean, from people, like a lot of Emiratis have told me that they've gone there, and I was so surprised because I'm like, wow, a lot of people are going there, and they tell me that it's so surprising because the media just bombards you with like, oh, you know, Russia is underground, underwater, or whatever because of all the political issues and stuff. But when you go there, it's first of all, it's cheap, much cheaper than other places. It has so much history, which I love. I've always loved history. You also like that kind of Soviet heritage that they have, and there's a lot of their buildings have that. So, and I mean, it's like when I went to Japan. So when I went to Japan, it was like you were in a new world because they have their own culture, their own architect, their own this. Same thing would be in Russia. I mean, Russia was the powerhouse of that Eastern bloc. Right, they're the ones who created. No one else. They're not following the US. They're not following Europe. They have their own thing. So I can just imagine that it'd be cool. But
it's a complete different like cultural experience.
Kalashnikov, shoot it. You can do all that stuff in Russia.
Yeah.
Go to a shooting range, drive a tank, T-34.
Yeah, I didn't. I was there for 5 hours, man.
Bro, they have a blacklist on you.
Yeah, no. But
how
did we get here?
No, because we were talking about. You can talk about Cape Verde.
Oh yeah. We should look into it.
I've never been to Africa. I've never been to Africa.
Not even like North Africa?
Nope.
Nice countries, man.
You know, I'm guilty of this. I've seen so much, what's happening, and it's always in the news about Africa. Of course, Africa is very vast, right? Yeah. There's so many places that are doing all right. So many places that are doing bad. I never really had the urge to go to a hot place that,
It's
again,
all hot though.
But that's the thing. See, because I wasn't educated about it yet. In the South, South Africa can get cold, right? It has beautiful mountains that has such a variety. Kenya is gorgeous. there's so many places, but
honestly, I think the two places like in Morocco and Kenya, those two trips are some of the best trips I've ever gone to. Like it's actually like it's a very different vibe, different cultures and everything, but the people are super nice. You know how we
can
always talk
imagine.
about like the people like the Thai people or like the Filipinos, like they're very nice people. I had the same experience there. Very like I went to a wedding in Morocco and dude, the level of hospitality they had and the way they took me and this other guy I went with that he's not from Morocco, that he was Egyptian, and like the way they took care of us and everything, fantastic.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You know what's really funny is that the best hospitality I've ever seen,
Yeah.
other than like here, you live here and stuff like that, so it's different. Was Oman, bro? Omanis on a different level. These guys will, like, let's say you ask on the next turn, is there a petrol station? He'll take you to the petrol station. He'll pay for it. Yeah, he'll pay for what you need. Perfect. Like fantastic. When I went to Iran also.
Yeah.
Bro, in Iran,
Especially to tourists, like people from outside.
yeah, but the thing is that like all the people I go with are all Iranians. But then when I was there, they'd be like, "Oh, you're from Dubai?" Oh, and so friendly, like so friendly. That's why again, I always had a soft spot for
The thing with Iran is like because of the image of what Iran is internationally, when they see a tourist, like it doesn't matter if you're from the country right next door or you're from America. They so hard, like they really try their hardest to like show you we're not actually that. Like the people are separate from the politics. That they go like beyond
over.
Yeah. So if you get in a taxi, you speak English, most probably it's gonna be for free. You go into a supermarket, most probably they give you shit for free. There's like a bunch of videos of people who like ran marathons in Iran, or a lady on a motorcycle went to Iran to like cross country across Iran. Or there was a guy, I think a week ago, I saw he was posting like he went all the way from UAE to like Afghanistan, like through Iran, and everyone says the same thing. Like the people are super like hospitable. Is that the term?
Hospitable, yeah.
Yeah, and they just try to show like a good image of what the Iranian people are actually about.
But that comes back to the idea. Do you remember when we had that discussion in one podcast where we were talking about that test they did about cities and villages and how generosity changes, and they used rats as an example? There was like this rat race where they had a cage, limited resources, and too many rats. And what happened with the rats? Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Okay. I was watching a female on Instagram. I forgot her name. It was just something I skimmed through, and she happened to be African American. She was traveling to places where women shouldn't travel.
Okay.
Her first was Afghanistan. She went to Afghanistan. Yeah. She went to Egypt. She went to Morocco and two other places. Guess which one she hated the most?
Probably not Afghanistan, I assume, from the way this conversation is going.
She loved Afghanistan.
She got lucky.
She hated Egypt because two of the taxi drivers tried to molest her.
Jesus.
Like they were telling her, like imagine, like, okay, not all Egyptians, yeah, but this is the scenario.
Yeah.
Like they were just trying to take advantage of her, and they were like always turning around and looking at her, like she was wearing a dress.
Right.
Yeah, so they were just staring at her, and the woman was like, "Can you stop staring at me? Like, can you stop? It's not comfortable. Let me out. And the guy's like, no, don't worry, you'll be fine. And he was trying to reach, for the back.
Yeah.
And she said in the video, she was like, I've gone to Afghanistan, which people think is the worst place to go to. And they treated me with respect. They paid everything. They did all this. So I understand what you mean about getting such a bad rap that they, it doesn't, the politics isn't the people,
Afghanistan is tricky though.
Bro,
it's really
I'll tell
tricky.
you something. Yeah, there's really, I don't know if you've seen the movie Lone Survivor.
The military one with
military
Mark
one,
Wahlberg,
yeah.
right?
Very, very, they have this, I don't know if it's Pashto or
Either
the group of
Urdu or
people.
Pashto.
No, the people there, they have this thing where if someone's your guest, you have to protect them with your life. Yeah. And the Lone Survivor was a mission where they had to take out a Taliban leader, and it failed. They got caught, and at the end of it, only one soldier was remaining.
Yeah.
But a village took him in when he was injured. And the Taliban came and said, look, you give him to us or we kill you all. And they fought back.
Yeah.
So again, I've seen like 4 influencers go to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
One of them is called Arab. His name is Arab. I don't know if you've seen it. He had an interview with Ibrahim Abbas.
Okay.
It's very interesting because he put it all on YouTube, and it's something to really watch because he himself is an Arab Christian. Yeah. He goes there, and you know what they're trying to do the whole time? They're trying to show him what Afghanistan is, but also trying to convert him.
Yeah.
They're like, brother, convert. We all go to heaven if you convert, and the guy's sitting there, and they're jolly about it. And a lot of the people that actually have gone back to Afghanistan are people who lived in the US, lived in these places,
right?
But they kind of see what's going on and they want to go back.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. It was really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, in Iran, there's a huge population of Afghani people.
Because you share the border, right?
Yeah, we share a border, and it's not that tough to get through. And without question, like some of the nicest people I've ever met. My dad was in like building residential buildings in Iran, and majority of the workforce are Afghani. And they're some of the nicest. I grew up with them. Like I would go to the construction site when I was like 4, and some of them to this day, like actually, son of one of the guys that like the site manager found me on Instagram and messaged me the other day to get my dad's number to like connect with him and everything.
Okay.
They're super nice people, super respectful, and like that family respect tree like type of culture is kind of similar to like how Khabib and them show respect to their father. It's like very similar to that. I mean, I have nothing against Afghani people, but I don't know, man. If I had a daughter, I wouldn't want her to travel alone in Afghanistan, and not because of the people.
No. But of course you want. What ifs? It's the what ifs. Yeah. Again, you're not sure about the national security there.
Yeah.
There's the internal security. People can go missing. People can get murdered. That stuff. The infrastructure is still not there. You know what I mean?
Or what is there is
Bro,
controlled by the
if someone
right
told me your daughter's gonna go to Detroit at night, I won't want that.
No.
If my daughter told me I want to go on a solo trip to Afghanistan, hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the what ifs.
Yeah.
It's the statistics that are there, or the lack of statistics.
Yeah.
So I get you, but Cape Verde. I mean, I've always wanted to go to Africa to see these places. I mean,
let's look into it because the next apparently I did a quick search. The next 2-3 months are like the best seasons to go because like maximum temperature during the day is like 28 degrees, and then at night it's like 20. Beach place, nice.
No, that's really interesting.
Let's look into it.
I think we can also discuss it as I also like this dark tourism kind of stuff. Where you go to these places that are. Not like Albania. I told you before I wanted to go to Albania.
I thought you were talking about like places that had like witches and like rituals and shit, like that type of dark.
I thought that'd be cool too.
Nope, I'm out. I'm not. It's the same thing as the haunted house thing. If there's a 0.0001% chance that it actually works, I don't want to fuck with it.
No, but you know what's funny is that like you as someone who reads these books about like nuclear doomsday.
Yeah.
That's what you should be worried about. Not that like a witch is gonna come and put like
the nuclear thing. I can't do anything about it. This one I clearly can avoid. Like when I was in Morocco, they told me, I think it was in Marrakesh, the city. They said there's a street that is known for witchery, and like Morocco apparently is really big on this.
Yeah.
I went to like 4 different cities before I go to Marrakesh. Everyone told me, whatever the fuck you do not walk down that street. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't need to fuck around with that. Like, fuck it, it's one street.
Man, it's Moroccans get a very bad rap. It's very bad. Like people, like aunts. My old aunts go like, be careful of Moroccans. They're nice people. But they have black magic. It's like apparently Moroccans get like a VIP service to
apparently
dark
like,
magic.
It was created there, or like they were the original followers or some shit.
Yeah.
But this was coming from Moroccan people telling me that.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm taking the word for it, man.
yeah.
I'm not fucking around. Fuck that shit.
That and Oman. Oman apparently has got some really good juju there.
Well, again,
but
not
bro,
looking for
the
it.
nicest people like Oman, they'll be like, we're gonna.
I've only been in Oman for like 3 days, and I was in the desert.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
So I didn't really.
Okay.
But I saw, the channel Yes Theory.
Yes.
They went to Oman, like one of their recent videos, and man, you can see the level of love people give them when they go there without even knowing who the fuck they are.
Bro, I'm telling you, like in Oman, I only went there. The last time I went there, I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah, and the people were just so jolly, and Oman is not far from us. We can drive to it,
It's like 2 hours to the border.
Oman is so vast and has such a, like in Salalah where I went to, it's green.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, it's green.
That's
you know
one of
what
the
I mean?
places I want to go to.
Yeah, Salalah is gorgeous.
It's like the only issue with it is it's like a 16-hour drive
Straight line.
from my house. Yeah.
Straight line, bro. I don't know how we stayed awake. It was
Tough.
like that.
16 hours.
But Cape Verde, yeah, I think that's something we can do.
You want to get into the main topic of the
Yeah,
conversation?
yeah. Like, what made you think of it? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people here that, think about
Honestly,
guilt.
it has been on my mind for the past past 4 or 5 months. Certain decisions I've made in my life and like the guilt I feel around it. Mostly like past relationships, like related. But the thing that initiated the way I brought it up to you was one of my family members. I was talking to one of my family members in Iran, and he's a lot older. He's in his like 60s, and he was saying that he went to a therapist for the first time, and all the issues that he thought he had, he was discussing with the therapist after a few sessions, and the therapist deduced that, I don't know if it's right or not, but when he was young, he lost his father when he was like 18. And he dealt with it alone. Like he didn't have any family members or anything around. And at the time, he said he just bottled it up. Like he didn't like try to not think about it and everything. And apparently that's one of the main causes that led to all of his issues later on, like whatever his issues might be. I don't want to talk about it because the guy's not a public guy. But that made me think of like, what are the shit that like I have bottled up that I may feel guilty about, or I haven't processed it properly and everything. And that put the thought in my head that maybe it's a good idea to talk about it. Like,
I think it's a great idea. I mean, look, again, depending on what you want to be made open
it
to
can
the
be
table
anything,
here.
man.
Yeah, no, but that's, you see, like that's the thing, right? For me, it's always been that thing where we as men have been taught to bottle everything up. It's called compartmentalize.
Yeah.
So I have a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
I take it in, I seal it up, and I put it in one area.
Shove it down.
Yeah, you shove it down, and then you keep shoving it down, and then at 55, you're walking, and your brain blows up, or one of your vessels explode. Because you have to understand that. You see, stress is trauma, right? Stress can be. There's even a stress hormone in your body,
of course,
that actually does damage to your body, and one of the things I even tell you, like I've told you, I've had anxiety, I have depression, I have this. The past 2-3 days, I've been going out to the beach, just chilling in the beach.
Yeah.
I feel a difference. Even though it might not be big, I feel a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I've always been taught, and I have, again, all of us have guilt. If anyone tells you they don't have guilt or shame,
psychopath.
It's not true.
But if I was to ask you, like, what is it that you feel most guilty about in your life, whatever the topic may be, what's the first thing that pops up in your head?
The guiltiest, I mean, like the guilt I would have was that I wasted time.
In regards to like career-wise, yourself, or like other people around you?
No, just my life. My life. I would say that I felt guilty about lying to people, family members. And it was because I wasn't in a good place. And I wasn't getting what I wanted, and it was in terms of education and stuff.
Right.
These things are, things that affected me. And I felt the guilt because I really hurt the people I care about.
Right.
And it was a while back. It was a long time back, but that was probably the guiltiest I had ever felt about something. You have some guilt in relationships, poor decisions, letting people down, all these things. But that was the biggest because I had lied to people and I'd lied consistently.
Right.
And again, it was something that hit later on.
This is what I was going to ask you. Like, since you're saying these are like very old guilts, have you noticed any pattern of like, at the time when you would feel guilty, this is how you used to deal with it, and as you've grown older, like this is now how you deal with like a guilt situation if you get into it? Like, have you figured anything out on like, or do you still apply the same system to either shove it down or get a different result out of it?
I would say that when it comes to guilt, especially, there's two types of guilt, right? I have two. I can identify for myself. Guilt I have done to people, and that's the guilt I feel for it.
Yeah.
Let's say that I let someone down, or I lied to someone, or I hurt someone's feelings, and I feel guilt for that. I would say that's the easiest guilt I can get rid of, because I can go address it. I can tell them how I feel because it's how I feel. But there's another guilt that's even more powerful and eats me alive, is the guilt I have for being lazy to myself.
Right.
So, while you have on one side, you have the guilt you feel for others, which you can rectify because it's their choice for them to forgive you.
Right.
But the other one is I have to forgive myself and I don't forgive myself. So that guilt is ever eating. And I've talked to you about this. It's whether it's my weight, whether it's, me saying that I'm going to do something and I don't do it.
Yeah.
It's that guilt, because I think now looking at what's going on, it's okay.
Yeah.
With what's going on, time is passing, man. I rekindled with an old friend who I used to play video games with. It's been 15 years I've known this guy.
Yeah. All right.
And like 2 days ago, Val Kilmer, who I just said had passed away. This guy was my childhood hero. All the action movies I used to watch as a kid was this guy. Now he's dead. And then you realize as you get older, you just, rather than meeting new friends, you're losing old friends or losing old memories of people, actors, whatever, that's going on.
Influential people in your life.
Yeah, influential people in your life. And it is like when you are in the moment, but now the moment has passed you.
Right.
But the thing is that I'm only 32 and I'm talking about it like that. Now kids are talking, like when you sit and you're talking and you realize that when you were a kid, what was hip or what was being talked about now has completely changed.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Now kids are like, they would not know who Miley Cyrus is, or, before then That's So Raven and Cartoon Network and all that stuff, when you were younger. Now it's changed completely. And I see my biggest guilt is that I've lied to myself. I've said always next year, next time. And that's what eats me up, And I've realized that if you can adapt how you feel the guilt, it should be able to solve the guilt. I haven't done that yet because...
But you said, have you realized how you can do it and you haven't done it yet? Or you haven't realized how to do it?
Korosh, it's very simple.
Just do it.
You have problems with weight, lose weight. You have problems with not getting somewhere in your life, make steps to do it. For me, I mean, I'm going to be very frank with you. If I want something, what's the steps I'm doing to get there, rather than bitching and moaning about it?
Right.
And that's just something that's been repetitive. Like, when you have a problem that you've seen in yourself for 5 years, yet you still haven't changed that problem, it's like you're murdering yourself. It's like you're holding yourself or choking yourself out because you've wasted 5 years saying you're going to deal with this problem. You haven't dealt with it. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be that. But at the end of the day...
5 years later, you're in the same place.
Bro, 5 years, you're not getting that 5 back, And so I'll never forget. Like, for me, my biggest thing is health.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a healthy person, but my biggest issue is health.
Is health,
yeah. When I was in the military, they provided us
psychiatrist?
A psychiatrist. So... I was put into a unit of people that were overweight, so health risks. So in full respect to the UAE Army, they really did well because they wanted you to go to a psychiatrist. They wanted to understand why you're gaining weight, why you're eating food, why you're doing that.
The underlying issues.
Yeah, and I was very shocked about it because when you go into Army, you do boot camp.
Yeah.
But they even went an extra level, And I remember... very, very, very nice doctor. She was saying to me, look, let's sit down. Let's talk about, give me 10 things off your finger which you want to achieve in your life and put them in priority. I said, first, I want to make sure that my family is good. Yeah, I want to make sure everyone in my family is taken care of. Secondly, I want to be able to travel the world or, all this kind of stuff. And last one was, I want to make sure I'm healthy. And again, it might sound stupid saying it now, but I had categorically put my health last.
Yeah.
And then she just looked at me and she said, okay. And she was running down. And then she said, can you look at me for a second? And can you tell me how are you going to achieve your mom or your dad or them having a great life if you're dead? If you are not living, or if you have issues which make you unable to work. And that really hit me. And okay, if it hit me very well, I would have lost weight and I would have done all this by now. But
no, but it's the first time that actually someone, because certain things like sounds very simple from an outsider's perspective, but then like in your head you never prioritize it that way, like put it in a list, and then you realize, holy shit, I'm putting myself last on like below a whole bunch of shit that I can't actually control. So I get what you're saying, that like sounds so simple, but unless someone else from the outside tells you, like sometimes it's hard to get there.
Yeah. So again, guilt. I mean, that's the guilt I have, and I do realize that. I think with guilt, people take guilt in and let it poison them, right? When you have guilt, people go into drinking, people go into this, become a recluse, do that, or they eat it, or I think now with as you get older, you realize that guilt can also be very constructing.
Yeah. If you use it the right way.
No, because if you think about it, this is gonna sound very psychotic or very, what's the word? Materialistic, right? Shame, which is another term, which is usually an identity crisis, right? And guilt is more of a physical reaction to you doing something, right?
Okay.
Shame is if you were to walk outside and someone saw you naked, right? Shame is where you would be like, shit, everyone's gonna know my name and know I was the guy who went out there and did that. Right. That's your identity being attacked, right? Guilt is an action-based thing where you have done a wrong to someone and there's consequences,
right?
And I've always believed, and we've talked about this before, that human beings are the most cunning animal out there. Why do we put laws in place, and why do we feel guilt? Why do we feel shame? It's actually a human survival instinct for you to better your social connections with people, so they don't come and murder you.
Within the herd.
To stay within the herd, and they don't come and murder you. Because if you're someone who doesn't feel guilt and you don't feel shame, you alienate yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe you might rule these people for a bit, but you become a target.
Yeah.
It's such a biological, not a biological, let's say, a primal instinct that don't thin out the herd, become part of the herd.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Why do I feel guilt for internal things? Because my body is trying to tell me that, look, survival is important, and
your actions are not
you keep
helping.
fucking yourself over,
Yeah.
You keep fucking yourself over. So for me, that's something that's, whenever you ask someone something, they forget, so they only tell you what they know. So if I come up with anything else, I'll be sure to tell you. But for me, that's the biggest thing. And you, of all people, know it because I'm the one who tells you about it. And, I talk to you about like wanting to get clean in the sense of eating clean, exercising, and focusing on myself. Yeah, it's tough.
No, I get those, especially the weight issues and everything. I know you always say that, like, oh, shut up and everything, but like I've dealt with similar issues as you would, like weight gain and like going through.
No, each person has their own battle, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I completely get you on that one, and the logic behind it, that like, oh, you're fat, you need to lose the weight, do something to lose the weight, and just somehow somewhere along the line it just goes wrong. I've been doing it for like on and off like 12 years or something, and every time it's just back to square one. So I get that, and I definitely feel that guilt towards myself as well. That's the only guilt that I've been able, not for long periods of time, but for short amounts of time, I've been able to use it as fuel to actually get me like out of that situation. But that was the only time that actually I've been able to switch the guilt into actually a productive thing. But everything else that I ever felt guilty about, first of all, I don't think I ever thought about guilt till very recently. Like I don't know if I have that, like a little bit of that psychopathic thing that I was able to just shut it off, or if it was, I never actually like was mature enough to think about it. But it started hitting me about like a year and a half ago, a little bit. And it started like trickling in my mind. I'm like, oh, do I feel guilty about those actions I did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, those actions I'm doing now and everything. And I don't know if to this day I'm actually processing it. That was the main reason that like I brought it up, was because all the guilt of like my previous actions has kind of been on my mind, and I'm not able to switch it off anymore, or like get it out of my mind or resolve it. So I don't know what the fuck to do with it. And it's not the type of guilt that I can switch into fuel for whatever, like with the fat loss thing.
Do you want to talk about what it is specifically?
Yeah. So there's two that I can think of right now. One is a major one that I'll tell you after this one. The other one is previous relationships. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because although like our paths separated, like they were like very lovely women and whatever, but it just our paths separated. It was either letting it on, like go on for too long and always justifying it. Actually, that's like the main reason. And my justification always was that depending on what's going on in the girl's life, I was trying to find the best time to break up with them because I know it's going to hurt them, but trying not to like... try to find the best timing to do it within whatever else is happening in their life, so it's not just like everything piling up on top of each other. And sometimes that made me like stay in a relationship for 2, 3, 6 months too long. And I don't know if I feel the guilt, or I actually feel the guilt both ways. One, about me just like pretending and like wasting my own time when I knew like the relationship is not going anywhere. And the other thing is wasting her time and not being honest with that person or those people. And I don't know how to deal with that guilt right now, because these relationships have ended years ago, and I'm not even in touch with them or anything. And I just don't feel like I'm like, what, I'm going to hit them up randomly and be like, I'm sorry for something that I don't fully understand myself. So I don't know. Like, do you feel
okay, so hitting them up can be a sign of, you wanting to make it right?
Yeah.
So from what I understand and what you're saying, this could be completely wrong. This is just how I'm absorbing it.
Yeah.
Is that you feel bad because you feel that you wasted their time and yours.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just, I don't know. It's an icky feeling.
Of course it's a fucking icky feeling. I mean, it's something that's it's a tough decision also, because you're look, there's a side of you that's scared to do it, right? And there's also a side of you that's saying, look, this is the right thing to do, but I want to make sure she hurt least.
Yeah.
Right? But it's also scared to go up to someone and say, listen, like, I'm going to have to end it and stuff like that. And then, her birthday comes up, or this comes up, or that, or her uncle passes away, or something like that. But just like a bandage, you have to rip it off, right?
Yeah.
But if you're feeling guilt for the time you wasted, right? At the end of the day, look at how that person's thriving, or look how the person's dealing with their life, right? Did it work out? Did it not work out? You had good intentions.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like reaching out to them is going to do like nothing for them or for me, because like obviously like it's not like, oh, he broke up with me, I killed myself. Like they're all doing their own thing and living their life, and I hope they're all happy. By the way, when I say all, it's not like I dated like 50 different women. No. But
if you have dated Korosh in the past 5 years, there's a number right here. Like
yeah, so I don't think reaching out to them is the solution to it, because I think it's mostly like me feeling guilty about it. They've, I'm sure, moved on and living happily ever after, whatever. So I don't know what to do with this energy. Like it's in me. I don't know what to do with it.
I mean, I'm not a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Maybe talk to a psychiatrist about it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like something so deep. Like
it's not. The main thing that I feel guilt about, it's I think I've told you this and I've said it on the podcast, is the past maybe 6 years I've been trying to make this 50-50 decision that one way is work as hard as you can, make enough money to take care of your parents, your future family, your wife, children, and basically I don't know if you call it the traditional pathway of become a provider and then pass it on to generations, whatever. Or pack up my shit, go live a simple life farming or whatever in nature somewhere, have a family there, and like the financial side, the financial cycle or the hamster wheel that like everyone's stuck in like I have no actual genuine interest, because you know me, I don't like fancy shit, I don't like fancy cars, money doesn't really do anything for me. Like I don't care about expensive shit. I just want to have like experiences. I like being in nature and all of that. But I feel this guilt, and like this guilt has stopped me from making an actual decision. And the guilt is two ways actually. One is, let's say I go the nature route. I pack up my shit, go live in a village somewhere in a different country, and just like continue there. Whatever happens. The guilt is first of all leaving my parents behind. If something happens to them, I don't have the financial capabilities to take care of them, or when they get old and retire or whatever. It's especially because I'm the older son. I feel like it's my responsibility to be there for them. And then the other guilt is, let's say I go do that like farming shit, right? And usually, like, let's say, small example, like if you're farming, you're like 5 hours away from like a main hospital somewhere. I have my wife and children. Something happens to my child, and I can't, either financially or because of the life decisions I've made where I'm living and everything, I won't be able to save my child's life. Or like, it doesn't have to be that extreme, but that would be an example of it. So like all these like different guilts on making just the simple decisions. Like, I mean, it's not simple, it's the rest of my life, but I don't know how to process that guilt and actually put it aside and make it logical, because I'm a very logical person majority of the time. And this is like one of the first times that I can't logically, even like in relationships that I gave example of, like I was feeling guilty and that would make me hesitant on like breaking up with them and everything. But my logic would always, maybe a couple of months too late, but always would win with logic. I'm like, okay, the right thing to do is to break up with them. But this decision has plagued me for like the past couple of years, and I don't know how to make it. And the guilt is the main reason that's like stopping me from actually thinking clearly about it. And I don't even know how to weigh it. I don't think going to a psychologist is gonna be helpful in that matter. And at the same time, I think if I go to a psychologist and they shine a light on the path to go, later on, if I regret that decision, I don't want it to be dependent on someone else's opinion or someone influence my opinion.
I get you. I get you completely. I think what you're doing is the classic case of overthinking.
Yeah.
Right? So you're talking about hypotheticals. Yeah. You're talking about things that haven't even gone into motion.
Yeah.
I think you have just picked a point where 99.9% of sons, daughters, and whoever, kids of parents, think about when they get older, that they have a responsibility to their parents to take care of them. And then that comes into what they really want. Like for me, I had this discussion with my mother a couple of days ago where I said I wasn't happy at work. And, I realized that, I would like a change. And my mom said something that was very, insensitive, in the sense that she had no idea what I do after 5 years of doing it. And she said to me, why don't you just do what you want then?
Yeah.
But bills have to be paid. People are reliant on you. So these are not things that can be easily... you can't go to a psychiatrist and say like, okay, point the path for me.
Yeah.
It's like saying right now, I can choose a decision. Down a line, there's a fork in the road. I choose A or I choose B, you're going to regret something. Yeah?
Yeah, of course.
I regret not investing in Bitcoin. Yeah? These are, I regret not saying goodbye to a friend who died. I didn't know he was going to die. He died.
Yeah.
I regret in a relationship before that I treated the person poorly. It's things that you're going to regret. Yeah? You are a compassionate person, although you think you're not.
No, I'm very compassionate to a select few.
Yeah, to a select few.
Everyone else can go die.
Yeah,
like,
but that's the thing. Like you see, everyone else can go die. But if you see someone standing there, you're not going to wish any ill will upon them or anything like that. You only care about the people you know, right, or you love.
Yeah,
right. That's everyone. That's the rat race.
No, man, that's not true. I've seen some compassionate motherfuckers that care about people that.
Yeah, but that's there. But again, not everyone's the same. But that's the rat race, right? Yeah. Like for me, one of my biggest targets, which I will know I am successful, is that I can help my family. My family will not have to want anything.
Yeah.
That is a part of my rat race, right? That is my objective. I would fucking love to be in Alaska right now, in a cabin, have documentaries watching on TV, having a fire, going cutting wood, not having to worry about paying the bills, not having to worry about that. Like I could live there. I could do it. I have my small needs. You know me. I don't have that, oh, I need this, oh, I need that, Yeah, I can, but doesn't mean it's going to happen now. Doesn't mean it's going to happen this. For me, I realized to myself, and this is my decision, where I will push to have, inshallah, a successful career.
Inshallah.
Where then I can have that beauty of, you know what? I've done this for 10 years. I've done this for 15 years. I know I have money parked for my family. Again, you don't know if tomorrow your whole family needs robotic arms and stuff, which is going to cost 3.5 million or something like that. All you can...
They're going to be crippled. Let me just be clear, bro.
No.
You're going to be crippled. There's no robotic
But
arm.
I'm just saying to you, but you do have some contingency plan, which is there. You do have something that is there. Like, I'll tell you, having savings and someone asking help and you knowing you have something to help is a great feeling.
It's just what another aspect of it is, like you're saying that, okay, I can't do it now, but after I have like savings, then I can do it then, right? But at that point, if you're responsible for a wife and a child and all of that, there's a whole section of other factors that come in that, like, you can't just pack up everything and take them with you.
No, I can't. But Korosh, I don't have kids yet. My decision will change.
Yeah, but we're reaching an age that, like, kind of, we gotta, like,
hey. Everyone at their own, yeah. But that's the thing, Korosh. Every day will be different, dude. I'm telling you, man. And I don't know if anyone wants to hear this or whoever hears us or listens to us. I swear to God, I never thought I'd be in banking.
Right.
Never in my life. I never ever thought I wouldn't. I never thought that I would work for someone else. I always thought I would work for myself.
It's so funny. The exact opposite.
How the fuck it changed, you know? And I can tell you now, I don't want to work for someone. I want to work for myself. So I have to do some things for myself. But it's not that easy. It's not black and white. I have to work on it. I have to do this. Maybe tomorrow I find a place which I'm working for that takes care of me. And I change and I go, you know what? I'm willing to work for this goal. But you talking about kids, every person I know who's had kids said my goals and stuff went out the window.
Yeah.
Right? Me wanting to be Tarzan in the jungle and stuff like that. No, I'd rather go with my kids and stuff to the beach or take them camping or something like that. It changes for people. It changes. And your guilt is not even existing yet. You know? But that is the typical idea of an overthinker.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
You have survivor's guilt for no... You have survivor's guilt for no... You're not a survivor yet. You know what I mean? And that is forward thinking. And I really do sound like a psychiatrist, you know? But it's because I've been in the same scenario, bro. I used to sit in bed and I used to be like, you know, how am I going to get that money from my, you know, like that emergency that's going to happen in 17 years? How the fuck do I know this is going to be an emergency? You know? How do I know? Like,
it's a probability.
Okay, probability, bro. If I knew that probability and I was 17 years planning for that shit, I should fucking. But that's the thing. Like, again,
I don't know, man. I feel fucking lost.
But
I don't know what to do.
But you know what's funny? God, this is a very, very interesting episode. It's no
Not
jokes.
funny, but yeah.
No jokes, but deep shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone is not lost in some way or another.
Of course.
Dude, I sit beside people in my office and I'm like, dude, this guy has everything together. And then the guy looks at me and goes, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. You know? Some people can, like, not everyone. Dude, even David Goggins. I'm telling you. And this guy's, you know, I'm sure his motherfucking did it. Life is like poker, right? And I really do feel, and guys, take it from me, I'm a top G, yeah, and this kind of shit. Every day is a test and a step you're gonna do, right? And your fucking priorities will flip. One day they'll just flip, or they'll stay exactly the same. But I know you like to go camping. I know you like to do these things. You do it now. You got the car. You go out in the desert. You do it. You're tasting that. You're satisfying that taste for now, right? when you find the right woman and you want to have kids and stuff like that, or if you find the right man.
Why, man? We gotta throw that in there.
No, but it will change. And dude, you're not old. You're young.
Yeah, it's just that the guilt of the decision making, or overthinking, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of paralyzing. I've realized that like the past couple of years, it has paralyzed me from moving either direction, and that's what pissing me off.
But that's the thing, bro.
I need to talk to a psychologist, don't I?
No. But like, I mean, again, look, why not?
Yeah.
Pay 500 dirhams. That's one club night. Yeah, you're paying.
Because I go clubbing.
No, but if you're going 6 or 7 people like that, it's like that much. Go have a session. Find out. Let them even give you a little bit of what, maybe they tell you, okay, yeah, this is, you're an overthinker. And you know what you've talked about? You've talked about the most typical issue with overthinkers, paralyzing.
Yeah.
They get paralyzed because you're thinking about 52 different options that are going to happen and you're not taking action on it.
Yeah, true.
You have your job. You work for yourself. You do these things. Set small goals for yourself. Try things. What are you doing, man? That was really sexual for a second. I was like, what the fuck? But try things.
All right, that's it, family. I'm leaving tomorrow.
No, but try things, man. Dude, you fucking disappear. You went to Vietnam and stuff like that. Like...
I just like disappearing in general. Like,
yeah, I know you do. And that's why
I just feel like
judge our friendship, because I'm the kind of person that if you fucking disappear...
No, I've never disappeared on you.
No. I'm just saying, if you ever do, I will hire a man-hunting team to find you, bring you to me, and say, you know what? You're not my friend anymore. And then I'll kill you.
All right.
No, but because I actually
my decision making super easy.
I actually had one friend who did that.
What?
I won't say his name or anything like that.
Yeah.
Very close friend of mine. In school, we were like, it was me and this other guy. So 3 of us. We were hanging out, dude. His house was like 2 steps away from my house. I knew his family. His family knew mine. Every night we'd go walk around Spinneys. You know Spinneys in Jumeirah?
Yeah.
We'd go walk from there to my house. We talk about
For
everything.
people who don't know, Spinneys is like a supermarket.
Yeah, it's like a supermarket. It's also like a town center. So there's like Starbucks and all this kind of stuff there. Bro, every day we'd go. We'd talk about our studies. We'd have exams the next day. We'd do that kind of stuff. I knew his family, his brothers. His brothers knew my brothers. Bro, this guy used to tell me every day, oh, I have problems. I have this. I tell him my problems. And then one day, I go to school, he's not there. Bro, in the span of a day, his mobile doesn't work. His Facebook is deactivated. I thought the guy died. Yeah?
How would he deactivate
No. Like his family didn't. I just didn't notice, I had no idea. And everyone in the class didn't give a shit. They're like, oh yeah, maybe he's gone or something. But dude, overnight, I saw the guy like 8 hours ago.
Yeah.
And he said nothing to my face. He said nothing. So I thought maybe maybe his dad or his mom had a fight. He left with the mom or whatever, or dad or anything like that. For 2 years, I never got anything from this guy.
Jesus.
And I used to message like his mom. I said,
like they moved out from the house next door?
No. His family was there, but they wouldn't tell me where he went.
Fucking witness protection.
Dude, fucking crazy shit, like...
How old were you at this point?
Must have been 17.
Okay.
17 or something like that.
Prison then?
No, it wasn't that.
What?
He got into an argument with his dad and said, fuck it, and went back to the US. Overnight.
God damn.
And he had been planning it.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, you're my best friend, you're my bro. I mean, bro, for 3 years, I didn't hear anything from the guy. I was like, what the fuck? Where's this guy?
Yeah.
And then after 3 years, he messaged me, hey, bro.
Oh, fuck off.
Dude, like, I love the guy. He's my friend till today, but I'm different towards him.
Yeah.
Like, when he messaged me, he's like, bro, you don't talk to me anymore. Like, fuck you. What do you mean don't talk to me? 3 years, I thought you fucking died.
I can ghost you for a long time before you can.
Wallah, and the thing is that I genuinely, like, everyone has their problems. He's a great guy. Yeah? But, dude, you said you were my best friend. In the beginning, I was like, what the fuck? And then when you think about it, when someone can just get up and, not talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, bro, listen, I'm going back to the US or something like that. Like, this happened.
Just one text.
I'm not going to stop you at the airport. Go fucking live your life. I've had friends who've gone to UK 12, 10 years. I'm still friends with them.
Yeah.
But this hit me the wrong way, dude. Yeah. And I remember when afterwards he messaged me. He was like, oh, man, I'm sorry. I feel like you treat me differently. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I had one of those friends.
Yeah, so if you
Right,
do the
still
fucking
have
same
it.
shit, bro, I'll find you.
No, I'm not that type of disappearing person. Like people who I actually care about. Like I'm not that I have disappeared before, but
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't
The way you
think
said it.
I don't think I would do that. But I guess we'll see in the next couple of years if this podcast goes on or not. But you might one day get a notice that I'm leaving farming or some shit. But
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, if you want to go do that kind of shit, I support it completely. I mean, I'll come check you in the village.
oh my, give me your address.
Imagine the village comes to you. Don't give me a fucking address.
No one. No.
There you go. See that weird shit? I'm gonna give. You think we're all gonna come there and see you? Oh, look, it's Indiana Jones.
No, it's just I'm gonna disconnect. You know,
What's the point of disconnecting?
no internet, no TV, like that.
Am I internet or TV? I come see you once in like a year.
Yeah, but I won't get a heads up, so you can't just show up in my house, shoot you. I don't know. It's fucking.
You're like in a Vietnamese village where everyone's 5 foot, and then I come, you shoot me. First thing you see.
I don't know. It's Bigfoot or some shit. Like I don't know.
No, but that's the thing I don't get, and that's something psychological where you can just cut all your ties and go somewhere. I don't know what that is.
I think I mean I've done tests. I mean they've been online
Yeah,
tests.
tests
and
have been
stuff.
done to you.
But like
Yeah.
if there's like I don't know. I think to technically be categorized as a psychopath, you need to have like 40 different traits. I think I have like 27 of them or something.
Okay, so you fail at that too.
Being a psychopath,
Yeah.
good for you that I do, because otherwise, you know.
Well, yeah. How do you when people beep at you? What do you do?
Hey, if you're a farm, it's good fertilizer, you know. I've thought about it. Can
But
cut
where do
costs
you
out.
think? Like, okay, so let's.
I don't know. I haven't allowed myself to even research where I would go because it's too enticing. Because I know for a fact, like being in nature brings me actual happiness. Like being in a city environment does not bring me happiness at all.
I know. But bro, we need to find some place with plumbing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll figure it out. I'll download some YouTube tutorials before I go.
yeah.
To be a
But yeah,
basic
I don't
plumber.
get that thing of cutting off and stuff. When I was a kid, I used to think about that. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking remove everyone, and I'm gonna live in a fucking jungle, and I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I'm making you sound like a fucking loser. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
You're not the first person. No, because I think it's something that developed in me since I was young. It was that I would go, because I think I've said on the podcast before, but till I came to Dubai, I was with a group of friends of like 13 people from basically grade 1 till I left. I think it was like grade 10 or something. And I always would like to test the, let's say everyone, it's like a break period or something, and everyone's in the backyard. I would go sit in a corner that no one can see me to see if with enough time people would realize I'm there or not, and if they care enough to come find me.
Were you loved as a kid?
Yeah, very much so. I don't know why I'm like this. I think I was dropped too many times. It has nothing to do with like I was not abused. No one hit me. They gave me attention.
I'm not big.
I was definitely loved all the maybe too much. I don't know, but I think
because that kind of like that thing is because maybe you want to be at center of attention.
that's the thing. I'm not that type of person. And also, what I realized since I was young is I would do that for like 10, 15 minutes, and then after 15 minutes, like I don't give a shit if they come or not. I'm just good with being alone. So like the thing with like cutting off, like let's say like even small scale like social media and everything, it's not that anymore to see like, oh, who actually cares about me to text me. It's just that like if you care enough, you'll figure out what I'm doing, or you ask me or not. If you don't care, I don't give a shit.
You don't
either.
tell me where you are. And you think I'm gonna figure out that fucking thing?
No,
I'm gonna
you
go
can
to a
text me,
village
like-
5 years after you.
No,
Hey,
no,
did you see this guy
dude.
with a beard? White man in corner. Yeah, he every time in morning he sit and he wonder if we think he's gone.
I was talking about the social media example, not just like dropping dead. Like off
Imagine
the
these
cliff.
people speak perfect English. Your friend just like for some reason he'll talk to us, and then while we're like talking to each other, he disappears, and he sits by that chair that we see him, but we just don't say anything because we think it's like his custom or something.
No, I have some weird like behavior shit. I don't know what it is. Like since I was young, when I would sit on like public transport, let's say you're sitting in front of me, right?
Okay.
I would just look at the top of your ear. Let's say you're one seat over there, like in a train situation with like people. I would stare at your ear because when you're distracted from your peripheral vision, you'd think I'm staring at you. But then you would check and you'd see I'm not making eye contact with you. I'm looking right over your head. And I would do this for hours to people. And I still don't know why I do this, but I get such a pleasure out of it that every 10 seconds the person looks to see if they can catch me or not. And I'm just staring like right above their head.
My first question is, what the fuck are you doing on public transport for so many hours?
Like when I was in UK uni, like trained like 3 hours and shit. Like I'm not just going around doing this.
Yeah,
like,
I was expecting. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'd be looking. Are you the same kid this morning that was there?
I'm not looking at you. But
Nice ears, faggot.
No, but what the fuck? What's a faggot ear?
Talk about the guy.
But yeah, I have I don't know. I do weird.
Yeah, you're a
shit
weird
like,
fucker, bro.
Yeah, I know.
You remember what you first told me?
No.
When you were talking about how you gauge if someone's your friend or not?
No.
You don't remember you told me?
No. What they say? Oh,
they
shit.
resemble an animal.
Oh yeah. That.
I meet this guy at a party, yeah, and Korosh doesn't talk so much. He's just sitting there, and same beard, looking like just doesn't want to be there.
I didn't know anyone at that.
Yeah,
point,
I didn't know anyone too.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, okay, but then we start. Did we talk a lot or we talked a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah. And
You're talking about Verde's house, right?
Yeah, Bardia's house, yeah. And then me and Korosh, we started talking more and more when we saw each other more and more. And then he told me one day, he just comes to me and goes, I knew you'd be my friend. Yeah, and I was like, why? What makes you say that? And then he said, because you remind me of an animal. And I was like, what do you mean? What animal was it?
I think it was a koala or something. No, it's just, I think I've said this on the podcast. Like, I see certain faces as animals. And, like, I based on that animal's characteristics, like, that's how I, like, treat that person. And majority of the time, no, I'm serious. Like, I remember there was a chick that as soon as she came in, I automatically thought a snake. I don't know why. It was a strong jawline or some shit. I don't fucking know. Like, it's not like she was hissing coming towards me. Like,
She had a lift.
Yeah, and then later on, that girl, a year and a half later, she fucked over one of my best friends. Like, completely, like, cheated on him, like, fucked up shit. I'm like, fucking knew that girl is a piece of shit. Yeah, it's just, and it doesn't happen with everyone. Just certain people, I see them, I'm like, oh, I think I can trust this person. I don't know what it is, man.
I could just have you on a TV show, like a detective thing. What's this guy?
Cunt.
What's this guy? He looks like a bear. A badger? What do we do with badgers?
No, I don't know. It's apparently other people do that too. Like it's not
maybe
a
you're
common...
seeing their aura.
Yeah, fuck off, no. But maybe actually, I don't know. Dude, fuck this.
You look at a girl, bitch. What do you mean? Female dog.
Yeah,
but I mean that was interesting. But I thought you were artistic when you told me. I was like, great.
I might actually be a little.
Don't be like those people online.
I don't know.
I'm on the spectrum. I can't work.
No, I'm not saying that I think I am. I'm just saying based on the weird shit I do on some spectrum, I have to be like this is a normal shit. Like,
I just can imagine you. Like, I can't imagine you without a beard and shit. Yeah, so I can just imagine.
You never met me without a beard.
Like your same face. I saw your photo, bro. I saw your photo.
Different. Yeah.
I can just imagine your same head, but on a small body. And there's just like a kid staring in the playground, standing alone, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" They don't know I'm gone yet.
No, I was a fucking manipulative kid.
Was?
I'm not a kid anymore.
Oh,
Still
no,
manipulative.
Yeah. I'm like manipulative now.
Yeah.
But
I'm unintentionally manipulative.
Are you?
Apparently, yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, a lot of people have told me.
Girls, maybe.
No, guys, that's how me behave with girls. But it's not intentional. Like, that's the thing. Like, a lot of like the beginning of my relationships, like the girl, because I'm a quiet person in general. I don't talk, but even on the podcast, if you look at like the timelines, it's you and Verde mostly, and me just like hints here and there.
Actually, I don't think so. I think you talk a lot, and it's good.
It's when I feel comfortable with a group or an environment, I talk more often. But usually, I'm not a very talkative person. Like if we're in a group or something. And a lot of people take that as, oh, this guy has a lot of different layers. And I keep telling to people, like, I don't have different layers. I just have one fucking layer. Like, I'm either good with you or I'm not. Like, that's pretty much my existence. But just people don't believe it. And then, yeah, I don't know.
For me, I have this ability. It's not an ability.
Yeah.
It's just that whenever I see someone, I can just categorize them as the other people I've met. Like, just...
Yeah.
It's like...
No, well, I think that's everyone.
Yeah, I think it is everyone, but like in the span of 5 minutes, I can know what the person's all about.
Yeah. No, one of the reasons I told you, one of the reasons I immediately felt connected to you, I think I told you that when we for that time we went to the coffee shop, was you reminded me a lot of my close friend Hossam that you met later on. But I don't know what it was about the way you carry yourself or the way you talk and behave and the way you judge people and everything. It reminded me so much of him that I automatically felt like you know how like when you first meet someone the first 5 times or something, you're just getting to know them. You don't know how.
But then you think you know this person for a long time.
Yeah, it skipped that first 5 meetings. You know, I think it's a normal. It's the way your brain categorizes like friend and foe. I think I don't know what the science.
But then it makes you wonder, like, you know, are people just so common?
Yeah,
with their personalities and even the way they carry themselves and stuff.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I think there's like probably like 10, 12 different kinds.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Like, within those kinds, there's variations, but if you see like majority of their traits, we're all the same shit, man.
It's like when you talk to
when
someone,
your parents tell you you're unique, you're not fucking unique, man.
Yeah. It's like, especially when your mom tells you you're pretty or you're handsome.
Never happened once.
Your mom never called you handsome?
No.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Bro, no, that's okay.
Yeah, no.
It's like
I'm
because
not
your
handsome,
mom,
no.
like, it's like if your mom basically painted you, she made you. Yeah. So she has to say you're good looking. Yeah. Otherwise, you fucked.
I don't take compliments well, anyways. So even if she did, I'd probably get weirded out. So I'm glad she didn't. No, honestly, I don't take compliments well. Like, you know this. Like, even if you give me the smallest compliments, I get weirded out. I don't know how to respond. I don't respond well to compliments and surprises.
Bro,
I don't know what to do.
I tell you something, at work, it's the most fucking hilarious shit when I receive like a bonus for my work. It's the most awkward meeting. I don't know how to act.
Money.
No. I don't know how to get praise.
Yeah.
So when someone tells me good, I start going, like I've never ever in my life smiled like that. I'm like, and I speak differently. Like the guy was like, okay, you're doing really well. We're really happy. And I'm like,
yeah. I don't know what I think that's
even my motor function doesn't work anymore. You know, I feel like it's weird. And then like,
I think that has to do with our parents. That has to have like something to do with our upbringing.
Did your dad ever say he was proud of you?
I don't have a good memory. I got hit in the head too many times. Like, I don't know.
That's a very diplomatic answer.
No,
your dad watches this.
No, the thing is, my whole family, we're not a very like verbal, like any sort of affection. We're not verbal. Like, it's more like, oh, a hug here, a hug there, and like it's not like we walk around like the white people in the show, like, oh, I love you, dad. Oh, I love you, son. Shut the fuck up. Why are we doing this? Like, I know you love me. You know I love you. Like, shut the fuck up. So we're not that kind of family. So I think it has to do something with that.
I get you, bro. It's the same as me. Like, I swear to God, sitting around. Yeah, but I don't think ever. My dad.
You know how my family started saying I love you to each other? First of all, we've only said it through text. We never say it in person, okay? And the only reason it started was my overthinking. So when I do dangerous shit, like, not dangerous, but like skydiving, like that kind of shit, I always
sent you a text. Love you.
No, I do. I message people and I'm like, listen, if you don't hear from me, I just want you to know I loved you, because I don't say to anyone. So I started like that before flights. I would say to my brother and my mom and dad. And now the only time we say I love you to each other is pretty much before flights. But like, we send emojis.
It takes flights to feel something sometimes.
It's just like, I'm good with dying. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not scared of like death or what happens afterwards, because what's the point of being scared? Like, it's gonna happen anyways. But I know like people around, like my brother is super scared of flights.
Yeah, I'm too.
So I want to like make sure he knows I love him. Like, to just like give him that sense.
Just remember when the plane's burning and people say, "Just remember, I love you, dog." Look at my text. All I said. Yeah. You misspell it. I love you.
I think the conclusion of this episode is I need to go to therapy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Maybe we do an episode on that. Maybe we
do
go
live therapy.
Huh?
Like with the therapist live?
No. Dude. One of us starts crying and shit. I never love you. No.
That ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna see me on camera crying.
While we're talking, you just go in the corner.
Bottle it up. No, I just put the camera on the other person.
Punch the psychiatrist.
You just hear me in the back.
Sorry, there's a bee in
My
here.
daddy didn't love me. I want to go be a farmer.
No, but
did you learn anything this episode?
I learned.
Do you think actually if guys talk to each other more about this kind of shit is helpful?
I think we'd have less heart attacks. Yeah, 100%. Hearing from what you said, is what I'm feeling. Like, it's just,
it puts you more at ease.
It puts you more at ease because you know everyone's on the same boat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I again, this, like, my dad, dude. My dad is such Bro, I'll tell you, my favorite dog to this day, I've had many dogs. I had one dog called Jack, Irish Wolfhound, one of the biggest dogs in the world. This dog, like, I've never had an animal for myself. This animal was my spirit animal.
Right.
And he lived to be about maybe 6 years old, which is very young.
Yeah.
Right? He had cancer.
Shit.
And my family loved him, the dog. And I had such a unique bond with this dog because he would just pick me out of everyone. Like, if I was sick, he'd sneak into the house, go all the way up to my room and lay on me.
Just imprinted on you.
It felt like imprinted on me. And when he was starting to lose drastic amount of weight.
Yeah. You got jealous? You got jealous?
No, he looked like a ghost in the last final days of his life. And the doctors were telling us, like, he can pull through. And then on the last day, they're like, I don't think he's going to make it through the night. So we brought him home. We wanted him to die at home. And I remember that my sister went into, because we had a house for them, like an outdoor house, because the UAE is hot. And I remember my sister was crying in there holding him, and he could barely keep his head up. She was crying, and I wanted to go in there, and I wanted to cry with. I wanted some time with my dog.
Yeah.
You know? And I'll never forget it, bro. My sister left the room, and she was in tears. I was staying quiet, and I walked in to see my dog, and my dad grabs my shoulder so tight, and he goes, "We don't cry. Your family, let them cry. You have to be strong."
Yeah.
And when I said that, when my dad said that to me, I turned around and I hugged my sister, and we went upstairs.
Yeah.
And then 3 hours later, my dog died.
So you never got the chance.
And I never, ever, ever. And by the way he died was like a horror movie. He was walking around with blood. He was throwing up blood.
Oh, fuck.
And my sister had to see that. And in the morning, I woke up to his body. And probably that's one of my biggest guilt. That's the guilt that's got me to this day. Like, I could tear up right now thinking about it.
Yeah.
But my dad told me, you don't show your emotions. You let other people have their emotions. You let your family have emotions. You have to be strong.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me. And that is the reason why I think now I have like moments where there's been moments where like I'm laughing and then tears coming down my eyes.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I have those, man.
You know? And I'm sitting there and then I'm laughing even more, but there's tears.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this?
It spills out of you.
It spills out. And that's the thing. Like, how can a feeling fill a cup? You know what I mean? That cup being your emotional cup.
Yeah.
Because like till now, thinking about my dog, it's hurting me and it's making me feel guilty about it. But how can you laugh and then switch to crying?
I think because
it takes a physical manifestation. You know what I mean?
The thing is, like, even if you're really good at bottling it up, whatever it is for you, like your dog and everything, at some point, like, it's on your subconscious. Like,
by the way, I'm not a psychopath. Yeah, I've had family, cousins, stuff who've passed away.
Yeah,
but I don't know why this. For me,
just,
he was my closest.
It hit
like,
you different.
Yeah, it hit me different, and I'm really sorry. You know, like it sounds shallow, but it's just like a moment where I was guilty for something.
Dude, I've never had a dog die. Like, I've only had one dog, and thank God she's still alive. But I was watching actually Bert Kreischer, the comedian, his special on Netflix that came out like 2 weeks ago, and at the end he talks about his dog dying, and like he makes a joke out of it. I was crying like a little bitch on this couch alone, although I've never actually experienced a dog dying, but I could connect with the feeling that I know I'm gonna get when my dog dies, and through his eyes. So I can't 100% get it, but it's just certain things hit you different. Like it could be like you lose 10 family members and you process it, but just that one other person, you had a different relationship with them or whatever it is.
Korosh, I'll tell you that I've lost many dogs. Yeah. This dog was my dog.
Yeah.
We could have made a joke about that. I lost many of my dogs, you know, and stuff like that.
You don't know how hard it is to hold it.
Yeah, I saw your face. I saw the flash of a laugh, and you went, keep it down, keep it down, bottle it up. Yeah. But I lost like my family, we've always loved to have animals in the home. And I think maybe 4 or 5 dogs have passed.
Right.
Yeah. But Jack was my dog. I don't know how to explain it to you, bro. This dog knew everything. Like,
It's just different.
bro, my biggest memory about this dog was I was really sick, and my dog comes up to my room, and I'm passed out, bro. Passed out, and I'm on the couch watching TV, and I just a huge lick on my face, and I look, and I'm like, I got so angry at Jack, and I hit him. I'm like, dude, my mouth, you hit him, like you got your tongue in my mouth and my face. Yeah, exactly, and he was just so happy to see me, regardless, and dude, I'm telling you, Korosh, this dog was bigger than you.
Jesus.
If he went on his hind legs, he could touch a UFC thing.
Fucking hell. It's a horse.
Huge dog.
Yeah.
Irish Wolfhound. This dog you could have a newborn baby in the room with a dog. You wouldn't have to worry about that baby.
Yeah.
Bro, he was, we even had a second dog, which is a bull mastiff.
Yeah. Big dogs too.
That bull mastiff learned everything from Jack, and he became like a miniature Jack. He wasn't the same,
Right.
but his mannerism, he was so gentle, but dude, his head was this big.
Yeah.
And his jaw, but he also died of cancer, that dog. I was numb to it. I cried a bit, but it was like Jack was mine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the guilt, actually, that's the biggest, bro. The guilt of not being able to, because it was like
your emotions.
Because it was like, I felt like when I was sick, he came for me.
Yeah.
And then when he was sick, I didn't.
Yeah.
And because I was trying to be the tough guy and all that shit, so it really, like, till this day, I feel it, and yeah.
All we can do is learn from it, man.
Yeah, man, and there was I hate Jordan Peterson. Dude, I hate him so fucking much. He's such a fucking hypocrite. But he said something that was pretty interesting. He said, we're all gonna have pain in life.
Yeah.
And if you ever meet someone who doesn't have pain, either they're gonna get it or they're lying to you. Right. Yeah. Something big in your life, there's gonna be a massive problem in your life. It's gonna come, right? Whether it's your health, whether it's this, but everyone's gonna feel the same pain, and I feel like talking about it, it's understanding helpful. You're not alone. I think it's great, and I think that it is nice because we as guys, we always try to brighten each other up, but there's also times where it's good to just sit and say, you know what,
let's cry together. Hold my hand.
No, but not even crying about it, because again, you can also release it without having to cry.
Yeah.
I never believed in that shit. Let it out, cry and stuff. That can work, but you also can just talk it out.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I think we should end the episode.
Yep.
Thank you guys for watching this sad and depressing episode of our podcast. Well, hopefully it's helpful for you. I think it's helpful for us. I don't know about you.
Look, again, the idea of this podcast was us to sit and talk. So I really do appreciate everyone being here. And of course, Korosh, I think, was a great subject.
Yeah, you should, honestly, if you're a guy, girls do this more often, but if you're a guy, you should try this with a close friend if you trust them enough. Yeah. It's helpful. Thank you guys for watching this episode of the podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out our social media channels.
Peace, guys.
See you next week.